Hello, thank you very much, Tori, and welcome to all the participants at our Abbey College Manchester webinar. It's so lovely to be able to speak to you here. I'm actually in Manchester in the college at the moment, and I have my colleagues with us too who are going to speak to you. So I'm going to give you a little overview about Abbey College Manchester. We had our 30th anniversary in December, and I've been there 21 years of the life of the college, so I think I'm quite well placed to talk to you about the college today. So the first thing I want to talk about is the college as a small family. We're a college with around maximum of 200 to 220 students, and I think that at this moment in time particularly, it's a big decision to send your son or daughter around the world or to another continent, to another country to study. But I think one of the most important things about coming to Abbey College Manchester is that we are a small family. No one gets lost in the crowd. We all know each other and we all look after each other. And what I always say to students when I talk to them on the phone or on Zoom or for an interview is, you're going to join our Abbey family, and you're going to become a part of our family, and we're going to look after you while you're away from home, probably for the first time. And I think that is really, really important. I think as well, moving on, because we are a truly global college, we have a mix of students, lots from the UK, but we have lots of students from many different countries, over 35 nationalities at the moment, and sometimes higher. And I think what that means is that the family is diverse and it is friendly, and everyone will find people with whom they can identify easily, but also they will find new people, new friends, and they will experience a typical mix of really what a university would be like moving on from Abbey College in terms of the overall mix of students and nationalities. And I think that makes it very exciting, but also less intimidating, in the sense that you are coming to a place where you will be part of that family. We pride ourselves on our small class sizes. We're a small college, but we also have small class sizes. And here we have Gary Brady, Director of the Maths Faculty. He's been at the college over 20 years as well. And you can see here the individual care and attention that's given. Our maximum class size is 12. And we are on first name terms with all our students. So I'm Liz and Gary's Gary. And, we want to make people feel that the barriers to any kind of learning are broken down. We have very strong academic progression for all our students. We're proud of their achievements. When students come to Abbey College Manchester, they will make progress. We will give them an individual programme that's tailored to support them, and they will make progress towards and to their goals. And that is really important in terms of moving forward. There's a reason you come to a college in the UK, and you want to then move forward to the next step, which is almost invariably university. So our results are excellent. For example, the A-level results in 2020, 100% pass rate, with top grades at 52% of A and A star. So you can see that the outcomes are excellent. Our International Foundation programme, average score 71%. So that shows the good scores that students are achieving on average in that programme, with some of the top scores being in the 90s. Our GCSE results are also excellent, with top grades nearly half of the scores, with a 100% pass rate at GCSE as well. So in terms of the programmes of study that students can do at the college, we are a sixth form college in essence, but we're still a school as well. So we have younger students, and we can take students from age 14. Students aged 14 and 15 would do GCSE. Students 16 would study a 2-year A-level course. Students who are 17 could do our International Foundation programme. The programme will depend on the age of the student, obviously on the educational record and the level of English, either through IELTS or another recognised GCSE qualification. We are experienced at working with any student who does have English as a second language, But often for African students, it is also a question of getting the IELTS, because IELTS is required for university. So we can work on academic written English. That's one of the areas that most needed often in terms of English support. Of course, when a student wants to go to university, it's important that we have UCAS support in place. And that's the backdrop to making a successful university application. And throughout the sixth form, we run something called Success in the Sixth Form, which then becomes UCAS support in the second year, to ensure that students are making good, informed and well-researched decisions about their university applications. So if we look at our programmes of study, let's first talk about A-level. A-levels are traditionally a 2-year course, and students start after they've studied GCSE or the Wyach or equivalent. Students are normally 16, maybe 17 years old, and students normally take 3 A-level subjects. So for example, if they want to do medicine, they might do biology and chemistry and maths, or biology and chemistry and psychology. If they want to do business studies at university or something related, they might do business studies, economics and maths. If they want to do engineering, they might do physics and maths and possibly further maths or chemistry. So normally students do 3 subjects. Occasionally students might do 4th, the 4th normally being further maths. We have a range of subjects from the sciences through the humanities and to the arts. And, you know, the choices there allow people to put into place what the key subjects they might need to move forward to a degree programme. So A-levels are a 2-year programme. Our International Foundation programme is normally studied as a 1-year programme, but it is quite popular as an 18-month course and can be done over 2 years. The key for International Foundation programme is that it's a sort of stop shop to get to university. So basically, students can actually come from having done a level 3 study year, the first year of A-level, in order to go into that programme. But they must be 17 years of age at the start of the programme. And there's a number of pathways. This is just a sort of selection, really. We've got business economics. You can do economics with advanced maths. You could do creative arts. You could do engineering with physics or chemistry. You've got environmental sciences, but you could combine that with humanities or business. The medicine pathway is very popular. We have 5 universities in the UK base that actually accept the medicine pathway. There's psychology, we've got the science pathway for pharmacy, for nutrition, and then there's the new sport pathway, which again can be combined with something else. And that is very much for the students who are perhaps doing the sports programme, which we'll have more detail on later. So in terms of moving forward to university, we have a number of partnership universities with whom we have an IFP, an International Foundation Programme partnership. When you study A-levels, you can apply to any university in the UK or abroad. That is your key in terms of any university. But with foundation programmes, you can apply to more or less any university in the UK. And with certain universities listed here, we have partnership agreements. What that means is that those universities also come and do talks, bespoke talks tailored to our students. They give them help on how to get into medicine, for example, from UCLan. We will get information from Loughborough about how to get into the particular courses they have there. From Keele, from Lancaster, from Leeds, they're putting on webinars specially for our students. But that's not the limit of our International Foundation Programme progression routes. As you will see when we go to the slides on progression, students are going to Bath, Birmingham, Durham, Kings, Manchester, Nottingham, Queen Mary, Sheffield, York. They all accept our programme. So we have excellent links moving forward, which is why Abbey College Manchester is such a good place to come and study either your A-levels or your foundation, because we can give you very good progression into the universities. Now, this is going to be talked about a bit later, but a lot of students are very interested in playing sport. They love football and they love basketball. They now have the opportunity to do that at Abbey College Manchester. We're moving into our 4th year of the football programme now, We started on a couple of students and we're into the mid-20s in terms of the number of students that follow that programme. So the way that works is that students can do GCSE, A-level or International Foundation programme. They do the majority of their lessons in the morning and sports in the afternoon. And that means that they can balance both of their interests. But Mick Brennan will talk more about the sport in a moment. So let's think about destinations. Always really important, isn't it? Where have the students gone to study once they've done one of our programmes? Well, in 2020, you can see we had 6 African students in the college, 3 Nigerian students doing International Foundation programme, going on to University of Nottingham, Surrey and Sheffield Hallam for a diverse range of courses there: civil engineering, hospitality, accounting and finance. And then 3 Nigerian students doing A-level. So one going to medicine, one to biomedical sciences and one to economics. So you can see fantastic destinations. The next slide shows destinations from previous years, from 2018 and 19. And you can see there that you have the universities of Reading, Aston, Manchester Met, Southampton, Sussex, Kiel, Nottingham, Aston, Liverpool, John Moores, Bournemouth, all really good universities. And the key to it is the kind of courses. And again, you can see the range from computer science to law to medicine to engineering, you know, a good range of courses that students are pursuing post their time at Abbey College. And remember, coming to Abbey College helps those students prepare for university. We're giving a stepping stone so they're ready to take on the challenges of university. And what's more pleasing is when you know the students have then graduated from university and are now going on successfully into their careers. In terms of a couple of case studies, I just want to introduce you to Amanat. She graduated in 2020 from Abbey College, and she got an exceptional outcome of 3 A stars in maths, economics and business studies. A hardworking student, but she took all the guidance, the support, all that extra that allows students to reach that top grade level, which is so sought after, and is now studying economics in Liverpool. Then we move on to Muktar. Muktar was with us for 2 years, and he started doing A-level and he was doing football training. He loved his football, he was very good at football, but he also wanted to go and be an engineer. And in the second year, he changed the International Foundation programme, which was a good move for him. He studied physics and maths and got 72% and is now doing civil engineering at Nottingham. Again, an excellent outcome and someone who enjoyed his time at the college and developed his football skills further. So in terms of the college itself, I'm actually here now in the college in my office, but we have a modern college right in the city centre. We'll talk a bit more about the facilities of Manchester later, but you can see here our well-equipped basement study, our photography suite, one of our 6 labs that we have, and one of our computer suites. No, the college building is very modern, it's very easy to use, it's very friendly to the students, and it's very central. And that makes it a really super place to be studying. Now, after the next little slide, we're going to show you a little video of 3 of our current students who are from Africa and a few words they've got to say about the college. And after the video, my colleague Chris Randall, who's Assistant Principal Pastoral and Boarding, is going to take over the presentation and talk about our new accommodation at Clydesdale House, which is really exciting, and about the city of Manchester and why it's such an appealing place to come and study. So let's hear the video. Okay, thank you.
Tori, you need to unmute yourself.
My experience at Riverside House has been going very well. When I first came, I was very skeptical about it because that was the first time I was away from my parents. But then the house parents made me feel at home, and then the other people in the house also made me feel welcome. So I've been finding it very nice.
So can you tell us how you've balanced your time between your football and your academic studies?
I think balancing my time has been very efficient because my teachers really helped me a lot. When I missed classes to go for football, they helped me record classes so I could come back and look at them and understand what they've been teaching in class. And also, I take time out of my free times to also go over the things I've studied. They've taught in the class to go over it and study it also to be prepared for the next class I go for.
Great. And your football training, how have your skills developed over the last 18 months that you've been?
It's definitely been up compared to how I came. When I came, the football skills have been really helpful. And then the coaches also helped me to improve on stuff that are personal, like using my wicker foot, finishing the ball very well. They've helped me develop as a footballer. I chose Manchester because of the footballing cities. There are two big Manchester clubs here, and then also balancing the school and then the environment in Manchester is really nice. And also the school I came to, they had the course that could help me do both football and both education. So they were able to balance it for me, and I really enjoyed that.
Good. I made a lot of good friends, and the house parents have been really helpful.
Good. And before you arrived, you were studying remotely.
Yes.
So how did that go?
It went well, like better than I expected, because I thought I wouldn't be able to like focus during the remote lessons, but they were really good.
Okay, so you were at a boarding school in the UK before you came to Abbey College. How does the boarding here compare to your old school?
It's 10 times better actually, because we're given independence. The house parents treat us with respect and kind of like adults. They help us to get into school on time, make sure that we're back in-house on time, and we do our COVID tests. So everything with them is like respect, but also safety.
And what made you choose Manchester?
I wanted to be in a boarding school in the city, but I didn't want to choose anywhere too big like London because I felt it would be too hectic for me. So I chose Manchester because it has more of a culture and a community feel.
Well, it's been an interesting journey so far. I came here not such a good player, but with time I've developed my skills. I've become a better striker. I've become a better player on the pitch and off the pitch. It's really a great experience and one that I think lots of players deserve to go through.
You live with one of our host families. Can you tell me a little bit about your time with the host family?
It's been great. It's been great, honestly. I've stayed there for a long time, nearly 2 years, and I really experienced great moments with them. Like, we relate a lot. I'm into football, they're into football. We watch games together, and recently they had a party for one of their birthdays, and we had a barbecue. I was invited, had fun, cut cake, and it was just lovely.
So why did you choose Manchester?
Well, Manchester is a great place, and it offered what I actually wanted to pursue, which was football and my studies. And they really offer great balance to it, and they run it very smoothly.
And what about the city in general? Is there anything in particular like about Manchester?
Well, it's a great city. Funny enough, when I was a kid, I used to like dream of coming to England and at least watching a match or something. And yeah, gave me the opportunity because I got to watch one of the Manchester teams, Manchester City, play against, I think it was Sheffield. Yeah, and it was a great opportunity because it really like makes my dreams come true. Yeah.
Brilliant. And what do you do at weekends? Is there anything to do around the city at weekend?
Yeah, there's lots to do. I usually go out with my mates for maybe some cinemas, some lunch, just have some quality time together in the beautiful city.
Hi, everybody. It was really good to hear from Annie, Naomi and Andrew there about their impressions of being here at Abbey College Manchester and kind of life in Manchester in general. So I'm going to talk about Clydesdale House, which, as Liz said, is our brand new boarding house for September, and we're very excited about moving there. As you can see on this slide, it's very safe. It's urban boarding. So there are three different types of room. We've got the standard room, we've got the deluxe room, and then we've got the premium room. All three rooms are en suite. All three rooms are single study bedrooms, so nobody has to share a bedroom, nobody has to share a bathroom. And as soon as we've taken our students to see them already, and they got very excited when they saw them, because as you can see in these photos, they're absolutely lovely. And I mean, the huge advantage to Clydesdale House is it's only, oh sorry, you can go on to the next slide. The huge advantage to Clydesdale House is it's only a 6 to 10 minute walk away from college. It's in a really nice area. The area is called the Northern Quarter, full of lots of really cool shops and cafes that the students, I'm sure they're going to enjoy discovering. And it's a really safe walk to college as well. The students will only need to cross one road. It's not a particularly busy road. It's a road the trams go down, and then once they've crossed that road, they're on the main shopping street in Manchester, and they can either walk down that or walk down one of the side streets, and it's really close by. So that's going to be fantastic. So rather like for other things, the students will have to be 16 years old or over in the beginning of September before they can move into boarding. That's for health and safety reasons. It's for insurance reasons. And we're really excited because the communal areas in Clydesdale House they're great. So the students will be in clusters, so they're not in flats, they're in clusters of up to 10 rooms, and each cluster has a really nice common room with comfortable sofas, TV, table, and each cluster also has a big kitchen where we will be providing food. So we'll be providing 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, evening meal. And one of the most exciting things that our students are looking forward to is that we will be able to cook meat, because where we are at the moment, we've not been able to cook meat. And a lot of the students, they enjoy meat, so they're very excited about that. Obviously, a high-speed internet, security 24 hours a day, and we're going to have some residential house parents. We'll have live-in house parents looking after the students. Oh, there we go. Sorry, that's on the next slide. There we go. So we've got, like I said, we've got the clusters. So the clusters will be single sex, so it'll be boys in one cluster, girls in another cluster, and boys won't be allowed to go to see the girls, and the girls won't be allowed to go to see the boys. But on the ground floor, there is also a common room, so they'll be able to socialise in the common room, and then there's a workspace next door to that where the students will be able to go and work after school during kind of supported homework. And in the evenings. And with having the live-in house parents, we're going to have lots of activities arranged in the evenings and in the weekends, because as we just heard there from those three students, Manchester is a really cool city. There's lots going on, and obviously as lockdown eases and as we try and get back to normality, more and more things will be open. There'll be more and more opportunities for the students to go out, do things, experience Manchester, and also the surrounding areas. You know, we're only 10-15 minute tram ride or train ride from the countryside, from the hills. We're hoping to take them walking out into the hills and do lots of other fun things in and around the city. So yeah, there'll be curfews. So I think that the students will have to be in by 9 o'clock. We'll make sure they're all safe and sound. And one huge advantage to Clydesdale House is that the laundry is free, so it's included in the price. And on the ground floor, there's a room with, I think it's 6 or 8 washing machines and dryers, so the students will be able to go and wash their clothes down the ground floor for free. So Manchester are fantastic photo there, the Etihad Stadium. Manchester, as the boys and girls said, it's a great city. There's an awful lot going on. There's a huge diverse population here in Manchester. It's one of the most exciting places to be. There's just so much going on. You know, obviously it's been very strange this year under lockdown, but like I say, when things do start to ease, it's one of the best places in the UK to be. And as I think it was Andrew and Naomi both said, they want it to be somewhere small, they want it to be somewhere safe, and that is definitely Manchester. I mean, there's 3 photos there. We've got the largest Chinatown in the UK, largest Chinese arch in the UK, and it's a very young city. So we've got some beautiful, as you can see, some beautiful buildings and some really modern architecture, and it all works so well together. You know, so the sports are great, the music's great, the culture's great. We've got some amazing art galleries, some fantastic shopping, which obviously some of the students will enjoy, some great restaurants. And it's just an absolutely fantastic place to be. So, you know, with the boarding is going to be really safe because obviously, you know, parents will be thousands of miles away. They can rest assured that the boarding is very safe and that the students will be very well looked after from a pastoral point of view. So I'm going to pass now on to Mick, who is in charge of International House, and he's going to talk to you about the football and the sports programs. Thanks, Mick.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, thank you for allowing me to speak about the academic studies and the sports programs here with Abbey College. I'm the director of IHM, and we provide the football academy with Abbey College. And as Liz said right at the start, we're into our 4th year here with the football academy. We started with a handful of students, and this current season, even with the difficulties of the pandemic, and we have had players that have been working remotely, we've got 28 players on the program at the moment. So it's exciting having the football and the sports courses alongside the academics. It gives an opportunity for the students, like the students that you've heard from there today, to follow their academic program whilst they're doing their sports in the afternoon. And we can manage that synergy of their academic progression and the sports. And not only does that develop their particular sport and their ability and their technique and their progression within the sport, but also it has transferable skills of the teamwork, the responsibility, the leadership side of things, doing the sports alongside their academic studies. So if we move on with the next slide, so the sports progression, they're able to progress on with a wide variety of educational and sporting progressions from doing the program, depending on what academic route they're taking. So that's university here in the UK or in the US. So we work very closely with a company that will help students go on to US scholarships to play football. We've had a number of students that have followed that route and have managed, after getting their academic qualifications here with Abbey College, and also following the football program, being able to go and play at a really good college level in the US. So that's the university level in the US, and they're playing in front of crowds. And if they can get to the right level, they can play in the MLS draft system as well at the end of the season. So we've got that route, and that's university here in the UK and the US. There's coaching and working in the field of sport. Being submerged in sport, whether that's on the IFP sport program, whether that's just the coaching and being out on the pitch, they can progress on to sports careers. It's playing at a high level throughout the program opportunities. So depending on abilities, we can help them to progress on within their game. If they want to progress on to be a professional, semi-professional footballer, whether it's here or back in their home country, we can assist that. They will definitely develop as a player, as a sports person, as a leader, as a team player as they come through. And also their personal portfolio for use for future progressions. And that's giving them transferable skills. So using the vehicle of sport, using the team sport and football, in our case, to build them transferable skills and them transferable life skills, and having that live portfolio that they can use to progress on. If we move on to the next slide. So the advantages of the Football Academy here. So we have full-time UEFA qualified experienced coaches employed by us who lead on the programme. And our coaches also work with the pro clubs here. One of our coaches works at Everton Football Club. One of our coaches currently plays semi-professional, but he's also an ex-professional player, played with Liverpool and played up in Scotland, has a Champions League winners medal. So they're getting the coaching from the experts. They're getting the coaching from the top. We have a player-centered approach to how we work. So whilst we're working as a team and all the players want to win games and go out there and train on the pitch, we're looking at them individual players. Can we develop them from the level that they have come in at the start of the programme to a better level, whatever level that may be, to achieve their full potential? And that might not be being a professional player. That might be being a better player to go home and play at a higher level, but making sure that we're working with them players and giving them skills. There's a number of progression opportunities. There's overseas opportunities through our player panel, our brand new player panel. So twice a year we will have our player panel, and all the players will have the opportunity to put themselves into that panel. They will develop their own portfolio, and they would have to demonstrate, they'd have to submit that to our player panel, demonstrate the commitment and their drive on the programme and their ability, not only through the on the pitch side of things, but the academic side of things. And from that player panel, we have our management team and our coaching team who sit, and we can recommend players to progress on to trials and opportunities, not only here in the UK, but overseas. We've just developed some links in Spain and Portugal. And we currently have a player from the academy who's in Spain, trialing, and a female player trialing with Atletico Madrid and Malaga, and has been given a few opportunities over there. We've got, as I mentioned, the US university links, and the academics and the sports combine to bring the classroom-based things. These are for the students that are on the sports programs, which we, the coaches, work on with Abbey College, to bring the classroom-based activity out onto the pitch. So there's a synergy with them side of things. Now, something that we have, which isn't on the slide, that we have just launched and just developed this week, is we also have our summer program. So throughout the summer, throughout the closed time of the schools, we've got the summer program, which is there to give students a taster. So if you've got students and parents who just aren't sure and would like a taster of the program, we've got short courses where they can come to Manchester, they can experience life in Manchester, they can experience the football coaching and some sample lessons on the football development program, along with a tour and interviews at Abbey College and looking at the course choices, so that they can sample the program for a 2 or a 4 week period or for a full summer. And that program can also be used for those that are coming on the full academic year or 2-year programs as their pre-season. So if they don't want to just come in September and start from scratch and want a pre-season and train prior, they can come onto that program, get some training and some opportunity before they start. Thank you. I'll hand over to Liz.
Thank you, Mick. Super. Really, really exciting. And I think with the sport and the education, I think the key to it is that people can just develop their skills, and it gives them another hobby, another strand, you know, and people love sport, it keeps them fit, and that's really good. So in summary, why come and study at Abbey College Manchester? Well, we're located in a safe and diverse city that's not too big. We've got everything we need, but in a small space. It's compact. You can walk to wherever you like within the city centre. We've got fantastic subject teachers who are totally dedicated to their subjects. They're highly experienced, highly caring, and know exactly what students need to do to improve. We have very flexible learning programs, allowing students to be tailored to what's going to suit them the best. And we will always give them the advice for you, you know, parents, agent, student, what the best advice is. And our small class sizes help us get to know the students very quickly. We can support in that stepping stone to university. So what we want to do is for our young people to develop their skills and then become ready for university and life beyond. And we help do that because we create an independence that they can develop through their time with us. We have urban boarding in the heart of the city with experienced house parents who the students get on with, who they like, who they can have as other mentors in their lives moving forward. We are giving individualized UCAS university application advice and again, guiding students to success. And of course, we have a huge range of options in terms of university application and the progression routes that students can take forward. So that's Abbey College Manchester for you in a nutshell. Now, just looking forward to September 2021. Well, we hope COVID will go away. I don't know if it's going to completely go away, but we are moving forward hugely in the UK. We are, over half of us are now vaccinated. We've got a falling number of cases, and we're reopening our schools and colleges for face-to-face teaching. We are doing daily, bi-weekly testing, and so students are very, very safe. Our college building's very safe. We have a one-way system. We're going to maintain that, social distancing and so on. And of course, we hope that by September, we'll be doing full face-to-face teaching as we are now. But, you know, if there are any little setbacks, any problems, we can deliver remote teaching on Teams, which we've done extremely successfully over the last academic year. And we are prepared to switch like that from face-to-face to remote should it be required. Now, I know for students in Africa, that the Wyach exams have been moved to the 16th of August to 30th of September. It's my birthday, actually, 16th of August. And so that will create some delays. Not to worry. Obviously, it's ideal to come at the beginning of the term, but if students are able to join us remotely for some parts of what we're doing, including some of the induction and lessons and looking at some of the recorded lessons, then they will not be late starting, and that we can accommodate, and we can look at each individual and what the best way forward is, because every student will be on a team, and because we've so many recorded resources, and because we can offer students the ability to join a face-to-face lesson remotely, then we will be able to help students if they are still needing to do the Wyach before they come to the UK. And in terms of September 2021, obviously we're interviewing, we're recruiting now. I saw a question just pop up about scholarships, and yes, we do have the scholarship test which students can undertake, which alongside the interview, can help in terms of moving forward with a place at the college. So I think that concludes the sort of formal bits of presentation. Thank you very much for listening. And if you've got any questions, please do type them into the chat, and any one of us could answer those. I think, Tori, you might have some that have already been asked. And so maybe what we'll all do is put on our cameras so you can see us. And then when you wish to answer a question, Tori, you can direct it to us and we will do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Liz. Yes, I'm just looking. I think some questions that have come in, I can see Chris has been answering questions that have come in about the boarding and how many students is the boarding house going to occupy. I don't know if you want to talk a bit more about that, Chris.
Yeah, that's fine. So in total, we're going to have 57 rooms in Clydesdale House. So we'd started off just having the 4th floor and the 3rd floor. So each floor's got roughly 20, some are only 17. So it's a little bit of a strange mixture. But we decided that because recruitment is going so well, to take an extra cluster on the 2nd floor, giving us 2.5 floors. And then this week we've got some more sign-ups, and we thought we're going to have to take the remaining cluster on the 2nd floor. Bringing us up to 57. I mean, hopefully by this time next year, we'll have the whole building, and the whole building will be 77. So basically the 1st floor is going to be university students. They're going to have nothing to do with Abbey College, but they won't be able to access the Abbey College areas because it'll all be done on a little fob that you have to press against the door to open it. So only Abbey College students will be able to access the Abbey College areas. So this year a total of 57 rooms, and hopefully September 2022, the whole of Clydesdale House, which will be 77 rooms, which will be really exciting.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. And we know that Clydesdale House is for students aged sort of 16 and over. So where do the younger students board?
Yeah, very good question. So our younger students, they stay with Homestay hosts, which is what Andrew spoke about in his little interview. We've got a network of Homestay hosts across Manchester, across Greater Manchester, most of whom have worked with the college for years and years and years. And the students are always incredibly well looked after and incredibly happy in their homestays, and it really is a home away from home. So, you know, if any of you do have youngsters, students who are 14 or 15 or just turning 16, then, you know, reassure the parents that the homestay hosts are well versed in looking after students from all over the world. And again, they really do provide them with a home from home. Again, you know, it's 3 meals a day, it's their own private room, it's Wi-Fi, it's washing, you know, and they'll be shown around the local area. The homestay host will show them how to catch the bus or the tram, and it's a fabulous support network. And sometimes the students, they choose not to move into boarding when they can, when they turn 16, 17, and when they're in years 12 and 13 there, because they love their homestay hosts so much that they want to stay, and they do regard them as family.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Now, we've had one question about today's event being recorded. Yes, it is being recorded, and yes, I will let Jalal have access to the recording. It'll probably be tomorrow morning, and then he'll be able to distribute it to everybody who's here who would like to see it. Jalal, I can see you have a question.
Yeah, this is a question that has been frequently asked here by most of the agents, students, and some parents about the football program. So it goes to Mick. What they will, I believe they will always want to know the chances that the football students will have in playing in the English League, whether Premiership, Championship, or any of the leagues in the UK.
Unmute. Okay, so thank you for that. I think it's important to sort of point out at this stage, sort of with the African players, there are restrictions and there are guidances with regards to visas and work permits for playing in the football leagues, and that's part of where, when we're talking with the students, we talk about the honesty and putting forward about their progression. So when they're getting the feedback, so it is very difficult for players. I mean, it's even very difficult for a player here in the UK to progress on to play in the leagues and the and Premier League, and that it's such a tough industry. If there is a player who is the next Cristiano Ronaldo or somebody like that, who's a really good level, there's always ways and means, and football clubs will always find ways to look at that. However, there are still FA and Home Office restrictions with that. With regards to them type of progressions and actually playing professionally or progressing on playing, we run showcase events twice a year, where we invite scouts from clubs at all different levels. And bear in mind, we being located in Manchester, the first thing that any of the students and the footballers and the parents think, they look at, Manchester United and Manchester City, the two top. And part of, as Chris was talking about, the beauty of Manchester is we have the two top teams at the moment. If you look at the Premier League, the two top teams in the country in Manchester, but there's also many other teams within traveling distance, in the Manchester area, the lower leagues, and we work with a lot of those teams to bring in their scouts for the showcase event. So we put that on twice a year. So it's an event where they will play in front of the scouts, and they will also get feedback from the scouts. We have some scouts that will give them feedback. But specifically for the type of players that we are talking about who may come up against these restrictions with the visas and that is where we've set up this player panel, and we've set up the links with in Portugal and in Spain, because we undertook some research and a study into playing football professionally in Europe last March. This was to find the player-friendly countries in Europe. And Spain was one of them, Portugal was one, there's also Belgium and Germany, and these are the countries where to play professionally or to play at a high level, there are less restrictions such as visas, work permits, limits on foreign players in squad, and limits on foreign players in starting lineups. And we identified the countries that are more player friendly. So that is why, to give to some of these players opportunities, we've set up the player panel. It wouldn't be for every player going across. They would have to submit portfolio, show their ability, show the 4 A's as we call it. So their attitude, their athleticism, their ability and their ambition to want to progress on. And that includes putting together the portfolio and all the work that they do on that. And then we can start to recommend these players to the links that we have, like Gabby, who's the female player I was talking to you about, who's gone on to Spain. She was trying to play here in the UK and was looking at the international clearance and that, and it was easier for her to go to Spain, and she's got lots of offers over there. So hopefully that sort of answers your question, John.
Thank you very much. This really answered a lot about on the question. And just like you already explained about the player that's progressed to Spain to play professional football, I think it would be good if we will have something like a case studies that we have for the progressions of the academic students. If we can have a kind of the case study of the students that did the football program and where they progressed to, what they achieved in football, I think it will be very beneficial to agents and the students.
Yeah, I think we can provide some case studies of players that have progressed on. We've had players that have gone back home and represented their country from being on the program, from developing on the program. But also, I think having case studies of those players that have gone on academically. We've got players that have gone on to develop their own coaching companies. We had a young lad that went back home and developed his own coaching company. So I think some of those case studies will be useful, and we can certainly get them to you.
Thank you. I think that's all from me.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Now, one of the other questions that's just come up as well, obviously, is the football, asking about whether we offer BTEC sports. What we do offer is we have our own international foundation program in sport. So I'm just trying to think here, Liz, Mick, which one's the best one to talk about the IFP?
Well, I mean, I'll just give you a quick overview of that. So basically in the International Foundation Programme, you normally do 2 subject strands, 6 units alongside your key skills. And what you can do, if you're doing the sport programme, you can do 3 units of sport, or you can do 6 units of sport. Now, if you want to do 3 units of sport and then you want to tie it up with business studies, something like that, then that would be a good route into, say, sport management. If you want to do it with biology, then that would be a good route into sports physio. If you want to just do all the sports units and go for something very sports related, then you could do all the units. But what's good about it is it supports the football. So what Mick was saying about the academic and the, you know, that side of things, the sport combined with the football playing and or the basketball playing means that you are able to sort of niche it together and get the best from what you're doing and get the context really of the sport that you're doing. And so yes, you could go on to sort of sports management, business management, you know, a number of things, particularly if you combine together the business with the sport or the biology in the sport. They're kind of the two core things to kind of put together to move forward. And I think it gives context when you're doing the sport as well. On the other hand, if you want to be an engineer, you do your physics and your advanced maths and you play your sport in the afternoon, you know, so it's the best of both really.
That's great. Thanks, Liz. Yeah, so the question about being an entry qualification for a BSc sports management degree. So I'm saying, yeah, if you did the sports foundation accompanied with the business modules as well, then it would be, we've got our partner universities and the universities that will look at that for a sports management degree. Yeah, so I'm just going to have a quick look at the moment. I think that is all the questions that we have in. So just quick, has anybody got any final questions? If not, we will thank everybody very much for attending this afternoon. Jalal, have you got any final words you'd like to say?
Yes, I would like to use this opportunity to thank all the participants and to let them know that we, just like Liz has already said, that we are already recruiting students. We are doing processing applications, doing interviews, and as somebody asked question about the scholarships are still offered for students, and we are doing our best to see that yes, everything with the, even with the COVID-19 situation, everything is going on well with our students. So we look forward to see more applications from the agencies as well. And if there's any need for us to speak with the parents or the students directly, you can always contact either me or any of the team. We can be able to speak with the parents and help them sort out whatever issue that they are having. So I want to thank you again for participating, and look forward to having you in other programs that we will be having. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, same from us. Really, really pleasure to be able to present to you, and always happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we yeah, hope to that our paths will cross again soon. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.